Good afternoon, everybody. This video is basically about doing it yourself. And what I mean by that is you found an old bike, not in perfect condition, might not even be in running condition, but you've decided you're going to fix it yourself. And that's what this is all about. Grab an old bike, bring new life into it. There's so many good videos on YouTube, and probably the best one is Old Shovel. I love the way he gets an old bike really cheap, just rebuilds it. Some of his styles aren't the greatest. Like, for example, he did a Le Mans Nevada City. He turned it into a street fighter. So basically, he put a flat bar on it and made it his commuter. And yeah, it was cool. He makes almost everything a one by now. And I'm a fan of the front derailleur. I'm a fan of having all the gears on it. Even though, my Cannondale CAD 4 is a one by, it specifically was designed for crits. So yeah, that made sense. But if you're going to do overall riding, you need the inner chainring, man. And I believe you're limited in gears when you go one by. Yeah, it's cleaner, it's lighter, and it's honestly cooler looking, but I don't know. I believe in the front derailleur. I also believe in rim brakes. I really like rim brakes. Simplicity, lighter weight, and if you know how to brake on a bike, if you know how to shift on a bike, everything's a little finesse. A disc, anybody could stop a disc brake bike, but descending a hill or a mountain with a rim brake bike takes a little finesse, and that's what's kind of cool about rim brake bikes. Now, let's get back to the subject. When I bought the Le Mans Nevada City, it was already in great condition, but I wanted to add stuff. I wanted to put new wheels on, add nuts and bolts. And sometimes people say, oh, I'm not going to do all that. I'll take it to a bike shop. Well, just look at the cost of bikes. Well, that came down to all the labor involved too, so parts and everything, all the markups. Remember, they got to work on a very low margin. So they're working on 50-60% margins. So how does that really work? So if they pay $50 and there's a 50% margin, you're paying $100. Okay, it's really that simple. So let's do it ourselves. And here's a perfect bike. I bought this Gary Fisher from some bike builder, or not a bike builder, a guy who restores old bikes. And you guys know the story. First ride on it, chain breaks. I barely cranked on the pedal. And when I looked at the chain was so old and rusty, but so greasy. So he threw so much oil and lube on it, hoping it would run better. Well, it didn't. And, I'm the type of person, I'm going to actually use my bikes. So, first thing, order the chain. I'm a little intimidated because I didn't know how to measure it. I didn't know a lot of things, but YouTube really helps. Got the chain fixed. Bought bottom bracket tools, headset tools, got that adjusted. Replaced the tires just a couple days ago. Took all the little rust off it. It was all surface rust. Got it shifting beautiful. Replaced the cables like I had promised myself I would. The old grip shift, it's a little tricky, but it's as long as you're willing to take the time. When I went to ask for a price at a local bike shop, he was talking basic $50 in labor only. $50 in labor for a $1.99 cable? I don't think so. I did it myself. Now, the Cannondale, the CAD, or actually it's not even a CAD, the ST400. Started sanding it down. I was going to go take it in and get it repainted, and I said to myself, you know what? Until I really decide what color I want, I'm going to keep this old patina and just leave it alone. I've had more fun on this bike than any old bike. And it's funny, when you're running a 27 by 1.25 tire, you forget how comfortable that tire can be. We're so used to 723s on up. But these 27-inch tires, they're very supple and very comfortable. So guys, I have some old bikes. There's the Balance. the Cannondale, the Gary Fisher, the Le Mans. Even though the Le Mans looks modern, that's a 20-year-old bike, guys. You know, so actually older than that, 22, 23 years old. But they're in beautiful working condition. And yeah, you got to spend a little bit money. You know, I've got the new Mavic on it, carbon pedals. Almost every nut and bolt's been replaced with a lighter alloy bolt. It keeps changing. I have nice carbon parts on it now, which really lined it up. But it's a fun, supple ride. And steel is one of those things, guys, you're always going to enjoy. Just like this morning's spin. You know, it was overcast morning, just beautiful, quiet morning. And I was just spinning on this Gary Fisher and having so much fun because I rebuilt it. I replaced the parts. I didn't pay anybody to replace the parts. I did it myself. I have every tool imaginable in this bag because I'm always afraid something's going to break on this old bike. You know, but it's a TIG welded chromoly American-made frame. You know, even the RockShox is an original American-made fork. The Kevlar tires, wow, so supple. The bar ends, you know, I have a really good position on these bar ends. So let me see if I can mimic it. So when you're down on the drops, you really get a good grip here and, you know, bend your elbows. You could really ride nicely on it. So anyways, guys, in a nutshell, all I'm saying is do it yourself, try it, use YouTube as a guide. You know, I don't do videos on how to repair a bike simply because I'm winging it half the time. I'm watching a video while I'm trying to repair something or update something or upgrade something. So I'm not an expert, but what I do know is that if you have the patience, you have the time, do it yourself. That's all I'm going to say, guys. Do it yourself. Talk to you all soon.